Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Glory Days podcast. We are here after a tumultuous, should we say, first game against the Wellington Phoenix, the distance derby to open the season here at home at HBF Park. And a lot of mixed emotions, mostly negative, I think we can say, which is a common theme on this podcast, unfortunately.
It's not the distance derby, though, is it?
Well,
it is.
The old distance derby, should we say. But
Battle of the flyby points.
WA's very own old firm. I don't know.
It's just, no.
Well, you said old derby, and I was just like, old firm.
You're old.
Shut up.
Anyways, we've got a lot to get through today in terms of just the game and everything about it. And to be honest, I'm happy we're talking about it now at 8 a.m. in the morning because I don't want to put any more time and thought into this. So I'm happy to just discuss this now and never think about it again.
Because we're absolute sickos. We decided to get up early and do a podcast.
Absolutely. You boys made me get up at 5:30 to catch the train from Thornley.
Sorry, Alex.
Anyways.
We'll get into it. So Perth Glory 2, Wellington Phoenix 2. Round 1.
Let's get into the fan comments
We had a
first,
lot
I
of
reckon.
comments.
I think 15 in total that we'll crunch through here.
So we had John Richardson who had and if the camera quality looks a little better, we've upgraded that as well. So hopefully that and the sound
And if it
good.
looks worse, just remember that James asked for this and it's his fault.
Yeah. So, John Richardson. Quality midfielders missing, not surprised they couldn't win. Nothing on the bench. Muller, a squad containing 9 midfielders, and our tactic appeared to be completely bypass them and play balls over the top. Poor management not to adjust and see out the last 4 minutes and go into half-time 2 goals clear. Nothing has changed from last season and neither will it. Georgie Shandor and Joya. Best part of the second half was some nerd casual that was trying to impress his girlfriend by going for Wellington, getting pinned against the wall. Little shit shat himself. Okay.
What? Sorry, what?
That's an interesting comment.
Oh, we're so
Who commented that?
Georgie Shandor.
Christos. Someone explain why Brano was taken off at half-time. Caltech immense at the back. Sutton, not an A-League goalkeeper, need Birighitti back ASAP.
No. Stop.
No.
He did this again yesterday on Twitter, bro. Look, he had me with the Brandon O'Neill take, and then he lost me. He lost me real quick.
Sutton was one of the better goalkeepers.
I thought he was great.
Well, I thought
he was okay.
Given that he's only just arrived, really, like within the last few days.
I think he was last night he showed he was at the very least a
Competent.
standard A-League competent keeper.
Yeah.
That for a first game is a good impression in comparison to what we have seen in the past.
That is
100%.
true.
Yeah.
Steve Morjuice. Difference between the two teams was obvious. Wellington had a clear game plan and stuck with it all game. We had no game plan, purely down to coaching. On paper, we had the better team. That Bry guy. Kaczarski looks a very... Fuck me.
Keep going.
Kaczarski looks a very good forward option beside Tags. Lost the midfield after O'Neill went off. Pennington should have replaced him if he could play longer. Freeney got pinged with a yellow and wasn't able to tackle for 42 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
The team will be better with Lawrence in it.
Yeah.
Lachlan had a few thoughts. Risdon and Sutton, very good games. Front three for about 35 minutes was dangerous, but once they settled and controlled the ball, we had no press. But when we had the ball, they pressed straight up, forced us long, no one-touch passing like them. Lucky for a draw, but we did get great opportunities. Our only tactic was to kick it long up to the 3 up front against their 3 at the back. I think against any other team we get smashed, we scored purely because they played the highest line I've ever seen. One-touch football, and they broke us down with ease. The back line was sloppy.
Yep.
Jesse, we looked competitive in the first half. When was the last time you could say that? Very positive. Ethan, we will not score against a better defence. I will wait for players to come back, but these new tactics are very concerning. Tom, we should be like Nottingham, so we shared a screenshot of Ange getting the sack.
within 14 minutes or something.
Yeah, down a tunnel. Ewan, David Drillich, you will be coaching in the State League next year. Tom, another comment. As soon as Wellington switched on, we never looked like scoring. Just sack him already. And then Ethan had another comment. The referee is definitely a wanker.
Yeah, I can agree on
That
that
was
last
terrible.
That yellow card to Freeney in the first, that was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
Man.
Bro.
It was shit.
The thing is as well, right? I think at some point it was like 17 fouls for us and 4 for them.
It was 18 to 8.
18 to 8 at the end. How fucking ridiculous is that? With all the time wasting from Wellington, with all the bullshit,
The flopping.
with all the flopping as well.
But no.
Oh my
that
God.
second goal, why did he have to re-watch it like a million fucking times. It was clear as day.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's been nice.
even then, man, just the standard fouls on the pitch. I don't know how the hell he thinks that that's an 18-8 foul game, because that was from both sides.
I think
it was
for us
ridiculous.
though, we did have a fair amount of kamikaze actions. To be fair, like with just
we
the
did,
Rambo
but
defending.
a lot of it went unpunished. How Eze
thought
didn't manage to
Brano
get a
got away
yellow
a few
card that
times,
game.
to be
He
honest.
did. Rizzo got away with a few as well. Woods
Yeah,
got away with a
Rizzo
few.
was living a few feet in and out of tackles.
hell.
But still, Eze not only got away with 2 stupid fouls, he got away with making a VAR decision, a VAR signal in front of the ref's face, which is an automatic yellow,
Yep.
was not given.
Yep.
He got away with kicking the ball away about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't get 1 yellow card.
Yeah.
Like, not only in the first half,
Yeah.
he ended without a yellow card. That, to me, is extremely poor refereeing,
I think
in
it was,
my opinion.
it was very poor.
But like we say this most weeks about A-League referees. Like don't get me wrong. I think it takes a lot of guts to be a referee and take all the slack you get, but at least be good at it.
Well, the standard,
100%.
the standard's fairly shit.
It's so
And
bad.
the lino's flagging offside for everything.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my God.
The thing that killed me about that lino call as well for the second goal, right, is that they flagged it off, okay, for Kucharski,
Yeah.
who was clearly 2 meters onside at
Yeah.
least. And then
And
when
it was
when they
also-
saw the replay and saw that Kucharski was very clearly on, they're like, no, it's the one in the box. It's the one in the box.
No, but remember, like, towards the end when Anasmo was like a mile offside, but
Yeah.
like, why did they keep the play going for like another 5
he didn't
seconds?
touch it, and then when he touched it, they flagged because
Yeah.
they let him just before they waited until he actually made a play on the ball, and then they flagged. Yeah.
We may as well discuss the lineup. So
May as well.
yeah, so
I like how we just didn't even address any of the fan comments, but like, yep, agree.
well,
agree,
I think
agree.
with the viewers' comments, I think it was the common consensus among all the fans. To be honest, it was like we had some good moments.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
going forward in the first 15 or so minutes, in particular, first 25, I should say, Wellington's high line was stupid. It
Well,
was
very stupid.
It was stupid, and apparently they'd been doing that in pre-season, so it was clear that we had worked quite a fair bit on it. And Driller said so in the presser that we identified it. We looked to try and time those runs. For the most part, we did fairly well. But yeah, I think it was very similar to the Adelaide game last year, where it was like they had a stupid high line. We kept playing balls in behind. They didn't know how to deal with it, and we cashed in more for that game. Where in this game, we definitely had some chances, but the bigger question for me is like, well, if Driller's going to try to use that and say, well, that's an indication that we can attack better, I'm going to say, well,
Wrong.
who's gonna be offering us that much space? Is Melbourne City going to offer us that space? Is
No.
Melbourne Victory going to offer us that space? So I think that real litmus test will occur over the next couple of weeks. But I think in terms of this game, it was a big
Yeah,
Big missed opportunity.
I think tactically, that I know we scored 2. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand we didn't lose the game.
yeah.
But I do have a fairly large argument to say that just all around choices from the management for this game, tactics, lineup, everything, arguably one of the worst lineups and tactics, like in terms of the way we positioned our players
Yeah.
and the way we went about our football last night. We were lucky we didn't play against like a MacArthur like we did last year in our first
100%.
round. Because
Yeah.
it would have been awful.
Would've
The
been
fact we played against Wellington, who are struggling and doing
Yeah.
with what they can,
Yeah.
genuinely I was mortified by how we played last night. It
Honestly,
was-
as well,
Yeah.
fantastic night for David Zrilic haters, because not only did we somehow scrape a point in the first game of the season,
Yeah.
but we bottled a 2-0 lead at home
Yeah.
to a Wellington side who pretty much everyone I've seen are predicting to be in the bottom 2,
Yeah.
along with Central Coast.
Yeah.
So we have...
And Wellington looked better.
Yes, we've dropped
I
2
know
points
this
in the
is a bad
distance
thing.
derby while having 29% of the possession at home against a really bad Wellington side, playing a kamikaze high line at the back.
Yeah.
And we drop a 2-goal lead.
I know this is a bad thing, but I kind of, this is controversial. I kind of hoped that we played a harder opposition, so
Yeah.
we lost. I know that sounds bad.
No,
but
I understand.
because now I feel like this, because I saw some people say, oh, like, I mean, a majority are like, oh, that was shit. And like, there was no tactics, yada, yada. And then now a few are like, oh, it's really, like, the team's looking better. Like, just give him a few weeks now. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
just like,
why?
brother, he had more than a few weeks. It's called pre-season, in which we only won one game.
I'll just give a shout out to that comment, Jesse,
Yeah.
for saying that we looked competitive in the first game. You know, I understand the positivity, and I think it's really great that we actually had one positive comment because I would really love some positivity on this podcast. It's just it's really hard to give. But you know what? I respect the fact that we got one comment from Jesse saying it was positive because at the end of the day, we didn't lose 6-1.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a 2-all draw.
Yeah, but it's Wellington.
I know. But
Like relative to last season.
relative to last year, it's better, but it's also somehow worse because our squad is much better than last year.
I was going to say, relative to last season, we weren't starting this game with Majeka doing me at right back and Bodnar and Aoyama in the midfield.
no,
Well,
you're right.
speaking of which, we'll touch on the lineup. So there were quite a few changes. I mean, if you compare this lineup to what we saw 12 months ago against Macarthur, it's night and day. Yeah. So Matt Sutton, who's been signed on a short-term deal, has made his debut. We thought Cam Cook was going to be in goal when they did the lineup graphics initially.
And I hope his injury's not too bad.
Well, Alex and I were in the members' lounge afterwards, and I think there was a bit of chatter that Cookie thought he hurt his knee pop.
Yep. Cookie was confident that he hurt his knee pop.
Yeah.
He walked off on his own, so we haven't got confirmation of it yet, but my belief personally is that his knee might have dislocated and it was popped back in by the medical staff.
Well, either way, we saw Cookie lying face down on the pitch when they were doing their crossing drills, and I was like, "What the fuck is he like collapsed or something?" And then,
because you saw in the replay, like when I saw him go down, I saw I think it was his left leg.
It was his left leg.
His left leg kind of landed awkwardly on his left, and then from the moment he went down, he didn't get up, and I was like,
Look,
he
was looking good and warm up as well. I thought.
He was confident he heard the pop, and from what I've heard, it could be about 6 to 8 weeks. Well, I actually heard someone say 6 to 7, but I don't want to say that.
There needs to be a diagnosis, and then we'll sort of see how things go from there. Matty Sutton, so he made his debut for Birigidi, who did his meniscus, I think on Tuesday at training in like one of the last actions or something. So we're getting some pretty rotten luck in the goalkeeping department. We had a back three of Caltac, Wooten and Risdon. We had Lockie Wales at left wing back, Trenosser at right wing back. We had Bozanovsky and O'Neill in the midfield. We had Jaden Kaczarski making his debut off the right. We had Sebastian Despotovsky playing off the left, and then we had Adam Taggart up top. Some general thoughts on the lineups. What did we think? Were we happy with it, given there were quite a number of players that were out injured?
I was very happy with the actual starting lineup. My concern was the bench.
Yeah, I agree.
The bench was outrageous. And look, going into this, I was like, okay, it's not a 9-man bench. That's unfortunate that a couple of people miss out, but I'm confident that we'll still get a good bench going here. What I saw was worrying, to say the least. Not only for the fact that Cameron Cook is now injured and we have Ryan Warner on the bench. I'm fine with that. I don't really care. Ryan's a good young gun keeper. That's fine. What I'm concerned with is the decision-making to put Gabriel Popovic on the bench over the likes of Arion Suleimani, Kwa Ngo, Andriano Labib, who we now know is fit, and Adam Bulgaria as well. Because here's my thing, is that when you get to those late stages in the game like we did, and we'll get on to David's poor decision-making with subs later, because that's a big, big thing as to why I think we lost this game. Lost this game. It feels like a loss, but why we drew this game. When you don't have your best options to bring off the bench on the bench, you're only going to screw yourself when you get late into the game. Like, we started fantastically, don't get me wrong. And you made multiple comments about it last night, James, and I think we all echoed the sentiment that within the last 5-10 minutes of the first half, we just looked exhausted because of how much possession we were giving away and how much we were chasing. So you would only think that if we're planning to do this, you need to have your best players on the pitch, especially your best technical players. Because when you do have those brief moments on the ball to either counterattack or to maybe get some breathing space, you need to have those guys on the ball that are able to put their heads up and just be like, okay, let's calm it down a bit. To have not only two strikers on the bench, them being Blair and Popovic, while you don't have the likes of Quiet and Go, who can be effective late on in the game, the likes of Adam Bulgaria, who, yes, isn't exactly Tom Lawrence, but he does provide good value, especially playing that sort of role that Despo was playing, if you need someone to sub Despo off for. And on top of that, you have Joel Anasmo, which is a great addition to the bench. You've had him playing right wing all of preseason. And then when you bring on a right winger, you bring on Nathaniel Blair, who has not played a single minute of preseason, at least that we've seen. And we've been to every single one of the games.
Blair has played preseason.
No.
Oh, you mean
what I mean is as a right winger. Unless
he
he played there in the two friendlies over in Sydney.
Driller's played him there loads of times last season.
But even then, it's
doesn't-
like
but it didn't
we
make
haven't
sense at
seen
the
him
time.
with this new system at right wing.
Yeah.
And from what we see, at least in the game, he just looked out of it. He looked
He's got
uncomfortable.
legs, but he's not a winger. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's his
My-
actual like technical ability just did not look up to standard.
My concern was the lack of options for the two boys at wingback. So
Yeah.
Lockie and Trent have featured at times throughout the preseason, but they've not had many minutes and opportunities to back up their load so that they're fully fit. And I think we were talking with Trent after the game, and he was a little bit buggered, but fair do. You're playing wing back. It's a bit of a difficult role as is because you're constantly up and down. I thought our back three. I like the intent at times to step up and be aggressive and press, but I think the coordination of it was a little off.
Yeah.
I think the way that Wellington played, we didn't really adjust to. Once they started getting a rhythm and they had their wingers dropping and rotating, it just looked a little out of sorts. And so, I'm disappointed that we didn't adjust to that. I thought Brandon O'Neill had a good game.
I thought he had
I
a
thought
really
he
good
did as well.
I
That's the thing.
actually actually liked the pairing of he and Bozanovsky.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it
it
allowed
worked well.
Bozanovsky a lot of freedom.
Bozanovsky was good, man.
He looks a player. And I know a lot of people are going to sort of look at football ratings because that's how people, judge
things,
games
yeah,
nowadays because
yeah.
apparently we've lost the ability to actually watch the game of football. But I thought Bozanovsky and Brandon did really well. They were screening really nicely. Brandon was winning some good tackles. Bozza was getting out of danger really well. And I thought it was good. And then going into the second half, we decided to make another nonsensical change.
So O'Neill was subbed off for tactical reasons. Driller said in his press conference. He said we weren't getting enough pressure on the ball. So he subbed
Yeah,
off.
but then
Brandon
as soon
for
as
that
we subbed on, it was Franey first.
reason.
right?
Got a yellow card in the first few minutes.
Yeah, but then we lost balance. I
Yeah,
felt.
exactly. Aside from the aside from the yellow card for Franey, which I know people are going to point out and say, oh, well, that's why our midfield wasn't as good as the second half. No, it wasn't that. It was the fact that Franey is not the kind of
Sitter?
rock solid defensive midfielder that Brandon O'Neill is. I will say for Franey, when he came on, we looked better going forward, in my opinion, because he's better in tight spaces.
I disagree. We did look terrible. Not because of him, but just in general.
He looked better than Brandon O'Neill when we were going forward, just because he's more proficient in tight spaces. I thought he played some
More
nice
of an attacking
passes.
midfielder than he's
Exactly.
Or box to
So
box, that's
when
the thing, yeah.
exactly, but we ended up with a partnership of Nicholas Pennington, who is an 8, who sometimes last season even played as a 10 for us.
Yeah.
And Will Franey, who is an
yeah.
8 that sometimes last season played as a 10 for us.
Yeah.
When you have Bozanovsky, who is an 8, yes, but can play as a 6, and you have Brandon O'Neill, who is a 6. So why exactly have we just seen? Okay, we were struggling a bit towards the end of the end of the first half. We're still a goal ahead. Let's take off our defensive midfielder and put on a more attacking minded centre mid.
Yeah.
When we had no intent of actually going after the game.
I have a question,
Yes, sir.
and I just kind of I've got a double point here, and this could be either really dumb from me or actually kind of smart.
Well, we say dumb
It's getting
things a
clipped
lot,
either way, so.
Yeah, okay, cold. So am I right in thinking that Rizzo played left centre back?
He did.
Correct.
Right, and Lockie Wales played on the
Left wing back.
the
Yeah.
left wing
Yes.
back, right?
Yes.
And I'm right in assuming or knowing that they're both right-footed.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Okay. There was just something I noticed from our two wider centre backs, Brian and Rizzo, were
Yes.
the
Yep.
wide
Yep.
ones and Wooten through the middle,
Yep.
right? When you play in this kind of formation, you need to have your wider centre backs be able to play those passes out to the wing backs for them to make the run and then pass into the midfield and then pass the attackers, right? There needs to be that link up play. If you want to play the way that you really should be playing a 3-back,
Yeah.
and clearly we want to play out the back until like the last 20 minutes when Caltech was just booting out the field, which I'm sure wasn't because he wanted to do that. It's probably more because he thought this is what he had to do, which is fair enough. I just want the two wide centre backs
Mm-hmm.
in the system that we're trying to play. I want you guys to guess the passing accuracy of attempts and how many successful passes our wide centre backs made
Of those two alone,
of those Rizzo and Caltech
passing accuracy,
for both of them. I've got them right here,
I reckon it would be in the mid-60s.
Alex.
I'm gonna say 40s for Caltech, and then I'm gonna say 60s for Rizzo.
Yeah, probably 40s.
Yeah.
well.
Okay. So Brian, and this is not a shot even, by the way. This is just more about the positioning of where they've been put, and you putting
Structure.
structure, and you're putting
Yeah.
Risdon as a right back on the left side of the field as a centre back.
Doesn't make sense.
Anyway, Brian 12-25, 48%.
Shit.
Risdon 13-26, 50%.
Yeah, well, this is I've got this up here with me as well. So, of our total passes of the proportion, 26% of our passes were long balls, compared to Wellington's being 8.5. So too often, the
Do you know how scuffed that for the people at home
yeah,
who aren't quite,
nerdy.
yeah, and don't know how scuffed that is?
Woke.
You can very easily boost up your passing stats by literally just passing it around the back, doing
That's
short
what I was
passes, little bounces to the midfield, whatever. That will boost your passing stats.
Yeah.
For every 4 passes we did, 1 was a hoof up the pitch.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. Like, I was saying this to James, like, whenever we were under pressure, we'd pass it back to Sutton, and this isn't a dig at Sutton, but he just booed it long, or Cowtack would boot it long, or Wooten would boot it long. It hasn't worked.
No.
Like, we've been trying this for the past 5 years or longer, since I remember Darryl Latchman's Sturridge season. He just fucking booed it, and it doesn't work.
Well, but I think this has to be. This isn't their choice. Like, I don't this is not a play. This is not a thing that they want to do. Like, if you were to watch,
But they're
Western-
gassed.
No,
No,
they're
it's
gassed.
not even that.
No.
I genuinely, I highly doubt that every time, I highly doubt that, Matt Sutton sees the ball coming to him with not a lot of pressure and then says, hey guys, check this out, and just fucking boots it.
It has to be
This is
under
very clearly,
instruction.
it's under instruction.
Right.
It has to be.
Well-
Otherwise, you would have Dave on the sideline losing his shit at the fact that we are continuously pumping long balls and giving away possession. Instead, he has stood there with his hands in his pocket like it is a winter morning and he's going to fucking school and he doesn't want to take his hands out of his pocket. It's absolutely shit.
Wellington had double the amount of passes in our half as we did in theirs. Our passing accuracy in total was 61%. Theirs was 81%.
I think they had more passes in our half than we had passes in our half.
They probably did, to be honest. But this is the thing. Wellington, look, I think they are going to struggle this season.
Yeah, but they still look better than us.
Well, this is the thing. Italiano is, as often referenced, De Zerbi, right? As a manager that he likes his kind of football. And I'll try and put the clip up when we eventually discuss the second goal that Wellington scored. But it was very De Zerbi-like in terms of like the up back throughs, how they were able to pass vertically through us and just take us out like we were nothing really, like we were just we just had. So they played some really good football, and once they started to get into a rhythm, I was saying this to a few of the players at the end of the game. I was like, we showed them way too much respect. I know we committed a lot of fouls, but I think we should have tried more to stop the rhythm of their passing game. We should have been far more aggressive with our pressure. I think us sitting off, and even us pressing in a 5-2-3. There were so many times when our mids weren't really sure if they were to stay or to go out, and they were splitting open, or they just weren't getting out to jump quickly enough. I mean, it's funny because it's the same kind of issues that Man United had under Ruben Amorim. It's like sometimes you're going to win the ball up high, but the structure itself, it's once you start to get past those first few lines of pressure, you're already onto the back line. And there were multiple times that we saw that. And even our own sloppiness at times on the ball. I know it's round 1 and we're probably getting the cobwebs out.
Yeah.
There were lots of signs that weren't very good.
So I know this is peeling back, but I just did a quick look because I was very curious. This is about Brian Cowtack, right?
Yep.
Who we know.
He's a top player.
He was a
Very,
gun.
very
I'm
good.
sorry, I
No, he
don't
was
understand
fantastic.
people were like shitting on him.
No,
I thought he was fantastic.
He was
great.
fantastic. The only downside is I think the way he's been told to play tactically. Like, this is what he wants to be done, right? So I was just curious because obviously he was a major piece in that Mariners run that we saw a few years ago.
Yes, yeah.
Was it the treble?
Yes.
The treble, yeah.
The treble, right? He was a key piece at the back, right? So I just, out of curiosity, I went to go look at the grand final where they beat Wellington City, right? Obviously it was a 6-1 thumping.
Victory. Oh, City, sorry, yeah.
6-1 thumping from a few years back, right? The passing accuracy from Brian then was in the 80s, 80%, of course. How many long balls do you think? The reason I'm saying this is because this is in the biggest game of the season. Like, this is the peak performance, Brian. Like, this is what you want him to do in the biggest game of the year. How many long balls do you think he attempted?
10.
4.
He attempted 8 in the biggest game of the season. He attempted 11 last night.
Well, the contrast is, and we'll talk about it more, but it's like you compare the model of play. So
exactly.
that's the big thing. It's like you see Wellington that there were times when they could go quick, but it wasn't like every single time it has to be frantic and it has to be quick. We couldn't slow the game down and get a bit of a rhythm going and then play slow. We always tried to get those scenarios where we could play in behind. And it's like, yes, that worked for us at times last season, but as we saw a lot of times last season, you're not always going to get those sorts of opportunities, and teams can counter-press fairly well now. Wellington's counter-pressing was excellent.
Yep.
And when you're defending for too long, there is, I'll try and find that theory, but it's like when you're defending for so long, mentally, obviously, it's quite draining. The moment that you get the ball, it's almost like you want to just get rid of it. And I think I was saying it to you boys during the game. It's like we couldn't get into that rhythm, right? Because the players are constantly having to move and shuffle and press and defend in a block. Then they might get the ball and it might be a transition where they're sprinting and then they lose the ball just as quickly and then it's back to being in a block again.
Yep.
There's no kind of reprieve. So, look, to be fair, at the start, we did look very good in behind.
Yes.
Wellington's high line, it was one of the most poorly coordinated high lines I've ever seen an A-League team put out. Jaden Kaczarski was a constant threat.
Yep.
I thought his link up with Tags was so good.
Well, not even that. We're doing a major disservice by not highlighting how excellent Sebastian Despotovsky was.
Oh, he was, man.
He was fantastic.
Very good performance.
Dude.
He was
That-
he was making passes like he's been in the A-League for like 5
That,
years.
that,
now.
that first 10, 15 minutes
banger.
of Sebastian Despotovsky, I was, mate, I
Like
was
Castro again.
I had the money symbols in my eyes, bro. I'm like, this is a fucking £10 million player.
I made a joke to Alex when he was recording his match day vlog, saying this is better than anything Jalen ever did. To which I was obviously joking, because I'm just trying to cope with.
It's
the
still
fact-
staying in the video. by the way. I
No,
hope
because I'm
you
trying to
know.
cope with the fact
I'll
we
keep the
lost
context,
Jalen.
but
no, I really do hope we can see Sebi continue on from here and really be like, I guess, the next WA young boy that comes through the ranks from the NPL and shows how good he actually is, like we have seen so many times before.
And hopefully we get
saw
a proper fee for him this time.
We'll time down to a long-term deal.
I saw a really
that,
good I saw a really good tweet last night as well, and it said you know what do you reckon Tom Lawrence is thinking right now? Like, how well do you think Tom Lawrence is going to have to perform to genuinely keep? Like, look, I'm obviously smart enough to know that Sebi Despotovsky is not going to keep Tom Lawrence out of the side. However,
I wouldn't mind rotation.
I wouldn't mind a rotation either. And to think that Sebi Despotovsky, who put up a fantastic performance, came off of the NPL Player of the Year, and now has Tom Lawrence to learn under.
Yeah, it's
for the next
massive.
year.
I
at
think you
least.
mean Lawrence will be learning under.
Nah.
Let's not get too excited, but yeah, it was definitely we were getting lots of joy in behind. Kaczarski had the chance in the 10th minute where he was played over the top. I think it might have been Wooten, and
Tried
he
to lay it under the keeper.
lob the goalkeeper, and it just
He tried
didn't
to
work.
lay it under when he should have lobbed it up.
Yeah, and he didn't quite get it right. But when
Yeah,
it came
that's
to his second chance, I thought that was much better football from us. So it was Risdon that stepped out to intercept, got the ball, and then it made its way over to Despo. Within 2 touches, he's flicked it over to Tags. Wellington are exposed. Tags flicks it over to Kaczarski, and he just whacked the bastard in the bottom corner. And, you know, that's the thing. We've got a decent attacker now. And I've mentioned this a few times with other people that I've talked to. It's like we've seen Archie Goodwin, Noah Botic and Zach Sapsford, those kinds of young strikers that have all gone off to Europe or overseas. Kaczarski has to be the next cab off the rank. He's got so many good qualities already, and I'm just stunned that Sydney FC let him go.
Yes.
I mean, this isn't a dig, but like, bro, I mean, the whole team was, but he was gassed after like 60 minutes. You could tell, man.
But he was running like a dog.
Yeah,
so
he was like, man, he was rapid, man.
yeah. Yes, William.
I know I keep harping on about this. This is the last thing I'm bringing up. This is just I'm purely doing this.
Brian Counter.
Yeah, no, I'm
The stats man.
I am purely doing this for anyone who may think that the way we defended or played last night is based upon our players, right?
I thought
because I
our
saw a lot
players
of
were fantastic.
I saw a lot of discourse of people saying the player did this, player did that. I don't think there was a single person who played last night that didn't put in a shift. I was the first
Everyone
time
put in a shift,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed the amount of I think the intent from all the players was obviously there. It's just the tactics they're being made to play in does not suit football.
Put it this way: the structure does not platform their strengths.
No,
or
it's
cover
just
their
garbage
weaknesses.
tactics. And I just want to make this abundantly clear that I don't think anyone who played yesterday is in the wrong. I think it's the next level up in terms of the tactics and the management. And to further say this, with all the long ball in inshallah,
Yes.
we're going to have one more stat here from Brian Kaltak, just as an example. Okay.
Alright.
Last season when he played for the Mariners,
Yeah.
and they played against the Phoenix, right? I can't imagine the Phoenix's tactics have changed too much from the last season because it's still the exact
Not
same
heavily,
management.
no.
How many long balls do you think Brian Caltech attempted against the Phoenix last year in terms of
7.
I say 6 or 7.
5.
3?
What was possession?
I win. Sorry.
What was possession?
Possession was 53% to the Phoenix.
Yeah, so that's the thing. But we'll touch on that a little bit later
Yeah.
because, to be fair, give Kaczarski his dues. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. The benefit of us playing in those transition moments allowed for someone like Kaczarski to run in behind, and it's clear that from the Australia Cup game, we were like, fuck, we cannot have more of the ball, otherwise we are not going to break down Wellington. And we relied on pretty much the exact same model that we did when we went over to Wellington last season, where we sat back and hit them on the break. But yeah, I want to give credit to Kaczarski because, again,
Fantastic
top signing. Good thing that we latched onto it. West United's situation is sad, but, it's
Not for me, though.
not for me.
Now, can I just say, I think obviously we got lucky with Wellington's high line, so we're lucky enough to get to see Kaczarski and Tags link up. But, like, in the next few games, I'm not hoping this happens, but I personally don't think we're going to see that much link up because I don't think they're going to get enough creativity. This isn't on Seb, it's our tactics.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing because people will see this and be like, oh, these are two fantastic players and this isn't on the players.
Yeah.
Because you see what happens when you give them a bit of creativity.
or just platform them. So any thoughts on Kaczarski's goal?
I think it's been, how long has it been since we've actually had someone like Kaczarski?
Kolakovsky?
Collar
Since
or
Collar,
Icon.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I know Collar was fairly recently in terms of how things have gone.
Just quickly, Collar, hurry up and get fit, you
Please.
bastard. Quick, we need you in January.
Please, bro.
Good to see you yesterday
imagine
as well.
having you and Jaden on the wings with my
Mate, that's class. Keep going.
Yeah. No, genuinely, I thought he played fantastic yesterday. I really
Yep.
do hope we can be able to see him play a full 90. I was a bit disappointed when he got subbed off, but I understand, first
We got to look after him.
Got to look after him. 100%. I'm so excited for the rest of the season to see how he can develop and play. I really do hope that we just don't end up losing him if he has a really good season to another club. Like, that would be really...
It'll be overseas. His next step is overseas.
Yeah, no,
It won't be another A-League club.
but you can just tell that in terms of all the fundamentals and what
Class
he has,
player.
he's got it.
Yeah.
And I think even as we could see, and this is no dig at Tags whatsoever, you could see, I think, having Kaczarski and even Despo helping out Tags last night, that Tags was ready. Like, he felt supported. He felt like he could
Big
be more
difference from
creative
last
and do
season.
what he wanted to
Yep.
do.
And if there's any note I have to say to the Glory staff, if you're ever wondering who the next attackers should be to come through, just ask Adam fucking Taggart, because he is the only reason that Jalen was in that game last season against Western and probably kicked on as well as he did.
Yeah.
Because Adam Taggart hand fucking picked him.
Yeah.
Hand picked the guy.
Wait, did he really?
He did.
He said, play Jalen.
He's
Put him in
fully
the
stressed to
team.
management
Yeah.
saying,
Put him in
play
the team.
Jalen.
Put him in the team.
Put Jalen in
But
the
we're
team.
seeing, but we're seeing now.
And Jalen cooked. And you can tell
Yeah.
with Tags, that first 30 minutes, I've never seen him play so happily since he's played with
'Cause he's
either
getting-
Jalen or played with Collar.
Yeah.
He's getting found now, and Despo's the next cab off the rank in terms of academy boys that are getting their opportunity, and he played a big role in Taggart's goal.
Yes,
so
he did.
we built out from the back. Despo, he chested the ball down, and then I think it was O'Neill with a ping first time over the top to Kaczarski. Kaczarski's running in behind, crossed it into Tags. Good save initially from the keeper, and then Tags was there to finish it. I think Kaczarski, did he have one ruled off beforehand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It was only going to be a matter of time before we could.
on personally.
Well, I saw
It
the
was very
No,
close.
his chest, he
there-
leant across.
yeah. There was more of a replay that
Yeah.
they show that Tag was off, but yeah. The second goal for Tags. What did we think? Good bit of play.
Yeah, really nice bit of play.
Good.
Really nice.
Josh, we happy with it?
Yeah, no, I thought it was decent. I actually, for some reason, I thought Seb scored, but I didn't realise because it bounced back at him.
ricocheted
But
back.
Yeah.
It was well worked for sure. Like, I think if you were just to watch the highlights, you wouldn't have seen the actual build up that led to that goal. It was fairly good build up. I think both goals had a fairly good build up to get there.
The first one was more so like a good pressing action and then the
Rizzo
transition.
did well to get
and then the
ball.
second goal was more so of us building out from deep and then going bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Amazing the things we can do when we actually try and, let our footballers play football. But,
yeah.
I mean, Tags always manages to find his way there. He's just always in the right space. Like, he positions himself well. He's
so good.
He's him.
He is him.
He is him.
Give him
Mr.
some
WA football.
Give him some service.
And he nearly got a third goal because
With Oluwayemi
he
lobbing
had
him off the
posters
line.
of Liam Reddy on his ceiling.
I really hope I really wish he passed that to Kaczarski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just got his head up and he's like keepers
Fuck
off his
it,
line.
yeah.
Didn't
He
He
really.
did the striker thing, which
He
I'll
did
never
the
be mad
striker
at
thing.
Tags
I will
for.
never be
Yeah.
mad at him for taking that shot on, but I'm just like, fuck. If he gave that to Kaczarski, that's another one.
Yeah.
So Wellington started to get more of a groove from around about 35 minutes onwards.
Yep.
So that's when they started getting more shots. So they had Armiento had a shot which Sutton
Mbappé-ento.
kind of dealt with, but it wasn't convincing.
Yeah.
Najarine, he had a cross that you could tell it was a little bit awkward for Osler. I think they targeted Osler's side quite a fair bit. There were loads of 2v1s on Osler's
Yeah,
side.
Lockie was doing pretty well on his side.
But I think we didn't adjust well enough by having Kaczarski or our right winger or our mids looking to come back and try and equalise.
yeah.
And then for Eze's goal, look, it was a fairly good one.
Yeah, it was a good finish.
Man, he looks decent. I'll respect it. Like, he
Good
looked
football's
decent,
good
man.
football.
Nagasawa played a good ball over the top.
Yeah.
Our back line was asleep.
Yeah.
Eze, he brought it down well, got past Brian a little bit too easily, and then it was a fantastic chip over the top of Sutton. Do you think he came out a bit too early?
Sutton? No.
Yeah.
Nah.
You got to close the angle there.
I think Sutton did everything right.
Yeah.
It's just Eze had a fantastic finish.
Yeah, that was such a clean.
It was a
chip,
very,
man.
very good finish. Like, you can't take anything away from the keeper in that situation. It was just a fantastic finish. Like, that's all you can really say.
In the second half, I think, Wellington again. They just again looked more like the likely side that they were going to score. Tim Payne had a great effort that was saved by Sutton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good save.
And then when it came to Armiento's goal, as I was sort of alluding to a little bit earlier, just the way that they went boom, 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 and then our players were flying through. I think Rizzo cleaned up someone like it was WWE style.
Oh, that was so funny, that tackle.
It's like,
It's just the longer the game went, the more hectic it got. Like, players were like running into each other, like, we just
well, we just
Booting
lost
it.
all our structure, and it just
fell to nothing.
well, it was too easy for Wellington.
yeah,
Too easy for Wellington. So
and they took control
now,
again.
they did,
I'm gonna.
Statman.
I'm probably no. That's not a stat.
Statman will.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's me. You don't have to do this. You don't want to, James. But there was just something I noticed live in the play. I haven't gone back to go watch it, so if I'm wrong, more than just you can even just cut this, or you can just put like a.
No, that's all right.
dunce
That's
out in my
okay.
head.
Yeah.
That second goal that we conceded
Mm-hmm.
was like, for any of my FIFA players, was like when you press the overload ball side tactic, right?
Yes.
Because it felt like there was like 4 or 5 of our defenders and midfielders who came back to not defend, who all went to the one side to try and get the ball, and then Armiento's just like, oh, I'll just stand here and wait for the ball.
Sick.
Like, yay!
Like, to be
what?
But that's the thing. It's like, to be fair to Osler, he's got 2 people that he's got to deal with on his side.
Yeah.
And yes, he lost the run of Armiento, but
Yes.
even still, it's like, how the fuck are we still getting those situations when
Yes.
it was literally happening before in the first half?
Yeah.
How did we not make that adjustment to tell? Because we had Nat Blair on the right wing at that point. I know you see he's got a fantastic physique, but that doesn't include excellent speed going back.
You need to stop with this. You need to stop.
But that's the thing. We just
Yeah.
we couldn't recognise the danger.
Yeah,
Osler had 2 guys on his side.
yeah. And that's not
Rizzo-
on Osler, but that's just
the
horrible
nature
marking.
of the structure. And then you have Rizzo that comes out like a bat out of hell, and it's
Yeah.
just like a little
but
bit
that's-
of discipline that we lost in
Yeah,
that
no,
moment.
but I completely agree with you that the lack of discipline from the defending is what led to that goal.
Yeah.
Right, 100%. But also, don't play the right-footed right back at left centre back. That's not his position, and he's going to
Or-
struggle. And I think he has to be aggressive because he
Or-
can't play it out through his feet.
Why not play a centre back in that position?
Well, yeah, no shit. Like obviously, that's
Sorry
what I'm
for
saying.
using my brain, but why not play a centre
please
back
don't do that.
who was fit?
But
Why
do
not play a
you know what I mean?
tall
Like,
WA centre
like-
back
like-
with dreads who's apparently actually fit now.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Okay. Let's not take the piss, right? This is ridiculous.
I think you are. Take the piss here.
No, genuinely, let's not take the piss because what has to go through a manager's head or anyone of the selection. It would surprise me if Dave's not even picking the team. It's someone else. I don't know anymore.
Tommy Vidovic.
Well, I know who picked someone on the bench. I think we can all say.
Yeah.
Yes,
But let's play. And this is, again, not to get the players, and I still think Lockie did a very good job on the position. Yeah, let's play the right-footed winger on that left wing back. Sounds fantastic. Well done.
Thinks he's
put in
Conte.
a great shift. Yeah.
Like I was telling you before.
Victor Moses, here we go.
Ashley Young.
Let's play a right back who's right-footed, who's also, he's not got that much stamina left in the tank, which I guess is why he put him at centre back. But sure, let's leave one of our young talents who's rapid on the ball, good on the ball, incredibly physical to win those balls back. Let's just leave him out of the squad. Fantastic decision. Well done.
Yeah.
That ball comes in, Labib is right there to clear it.
But
that's it. He's not making that stupid choice
even
to leave
still,
Mbappe open.
who dragged down Eze in the box? Was it Brian or Woods?
I think it was it Woods?
Might have been Woods, but I think just how we dealt with that. If I'm, let's say, Adam Griffiths, who's we've already heard some good feedback about as being one of the main defensive coaches. If I'm watching that back on replay, I'm going, "Fuck me, boys! That was pretty sloppy with how we dealt with it." And
no, it wasn't sloppy.
If I'm Adam Griffiths, I would be dragging Zrilla by the scruff of the neck and saying,
brother,
pick fucking Labib.
I don't think it's.
I'm gonna lose my
I
shit.
I don't think it would purely hinges on Labib.
I don't think it purely hinges on Labib, but I think it makes a big difference. You've got recovery pace. You've got that physique. You've got strength there that Risdon just does not have, unfortunately.
But it's just,
I love Rizzo, but you cannot play him at left fucking centre back, especially when you played Kautak at left centre back the entirety of preseason, and Risdon as a right centre back the entirety of preseason. So why did we just swap them for no fucking reason?
Like, I don't understand if
you said earlier what goes through Zrilich's head. I know what goes through Zrilich's head. Fucking nothing. Nothing goes through his head.
But that was the thing. We thought Labib had a knee issue because he hadn't featured too much in preseason. And then that was one of the first things we spoke with him at the end. I was like, mate, what's up with your knee? And he's like, I'm good. I'm fit. I'm like, why the fuck are you not playing then? So, and it's like, not to blow smoke up his ass, but it's like, we've got some good centre backs now that can add competition to places, because we've got Zach, who will be Lizalesi, hopefully he'll be back by the end of the year.
Yep.
We'll have
get well soon, mate.
Charbel Shamoon, who'll be coming back hopefully next week. So and you've still got Majex as well. So you've got plenty of competition, and I just think either it's a trade-off that we're going to have to accept with our centre backs being aggressive and then possibly getting beaten, or maybe we need to rethink our defensive structure. So I think because again, if we play like that against Melbourne City next week,
we are.
It'll be probably 3-4.
We're going
the
to
thing
get
is,
pumped.
I didn't even think the defending was that bad for a large part of it. I purely think that a lot of our struggles came down to the fact that we had the wrong players in the wrong positions. You have Trent Osler, who I actually thought didn't actually do that badly, but defensively. You could tell towards the end of the first half, the last 15, and then the last 15 of the second half, he was gassed. He was exhausted.
So who replaces him?
That's the better question.
That's the thing. Yeah. Why do you not have someone like Taddy Kazamba on the bench who is fit and ready to go?
Or
why do you not put an extra centre back onto the bench to then be able to move Risdon to right wing?
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
To right wing.
We can go.
Hold on. If you have Labib on the bench there, you can move Kautak to left centre back, Labib to right centre back, so that you have pacey centre backs that are strong down both sides to be able to stop the runners coming through. You then have Risdon at right wing back, where you know that he is going to put in a good defensive shift, because Osler unfortunately kept losing his man, and it's not to the fault of his own, because they were overloading down his side.
Yes.
Well,
and another thing as well, sorry to cut you off again.
But I'm gonna.
But what the fuck is this? Like, what is our squad planning exactly? Like, what have we done here? Because we had 7.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Hold
He's
on,
done his article. He's ready to go.
Listen, hear me out.
He's done his article.
We have got 7 midfielders,
Yes.
7 defensive midfielders.
Yes.
Yet the entirety of our play, the entirety of that second half, was focused on bypassing the entire fucking midfield with left wing back, okay?
Yes.
I know that we say, oh, well, we've got to play a right footer there because we don't have any fullbacks. You've got Will Franey, who's played as a fullback before and is naturally left-footed. You have that as an option. I know you wouldn't. I know you want to say, oh, well, he's not Sam Sutton. Of course he's not fucking Sam Sutton.
I didn't say
but
that.
it's an option, all right? I knew you were going to say it, though. Don't even tell me you weren't
I was
going
going
to
to say go to a back 4.
No.
Okay, when Shamoon and Sutton are back fit, where do we play Wales?
Right wing back.
So that he's in a natural area.
100%.
But
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Shamoon is not. Shamoon can be a bench option. Like
And Shamoon can play either side. His
don't reckon
first
he's a
season with
starter?
his first
quite,
season
no.
with
Not
with
Western,
Sutton,
he
not.
played as a as a right-sided fullback / wing back. His second season with Western, he played as a left-sided fullback / wing back.
But this is the thing. Why not acknowledge that? Okay, us losing Sutton was obviously a shitty injury that he got when they had the trial game against Western Sydney. But it's like, because we lack that option at wing back, why not go to a back 4 just so that there's a little bit of I know
who do you play at left back though?
You play Rizzo at left back. Play Rizzo at left back, and then you have Oster at right back.
James, we just discussed why that's a bad idea, James.
I know, but that's the thing. We didn't have many alternatives. Or you give Taddy a go.
But here's the
the
other
thing.
problem as well, is that you've got the most uninspiring just sack of just wet paper towels on the bench with his hands in his pockets, all right? And listen to me. I'm
no
sorry.
club events for
no,
you.
I'm sorry. But David Zrilic has shown, okay? And I've said it before on this podcast, my one problem with managers is when they're stubborn. That's why I wasn't a massive fan of Stadge towards the end of his tenure.
Fair.
With David Zrilic, he has proven that he can not only be easily influenced by his assistant coaches, but he's also proven that he can be just as fucking stubborn when things aren't working. Oh, we're on the back end in the first half and we need to defend better. Cool. Let's take off the fucking defensive midfielder, put on an 8, and then change nothing about the way we're playing. Fucking something's not working. Let's just do nothing about it. How about let's just do fuck all and hope something fixes itself?
So Ross Peligro said, as part of addressing the players on Friday, or at least the press release, he said, I back Zdrilla, I back Stan, I back the players that we brought in. I'm like, okay, that's no problem. But I think in terms of Zdrilla, when we did our last episode, we said that he needed to beat both Wellington and the Mariners. And while it's not a disaster drawing 2-2 at home,
in the context of in the context of the game, I'd say it actually is a disaster.
Well, it's a disaster in the sense that we struggled to really take it to a side that many thought was going to finish down below. And this is the thing. I was at the season launch on Wednesday, and the common theme, be it from players, be it from Zdrilla himself or from Anthony Radic, there are no excuses. And this is a finals team. So we should have been walking away from this game with a win.
Like, it could have obviously been worse. We could have lost.
On paper, we're the much better squad, and they absolutely
and that's also without our main players.
Well, and look, we are missing quite a lot of players, but that's the thing. You've got a squad of over 30. You should be able to compensate for that.
Yeah. And
But
here's the thing
regardless
as
of
well.
the players, that starting lineup was decent.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And the
But we agree,
thing is as well, we've got a fantastic squad. I know people are going to harp on and on and on about we should be winning games because we've got a fantastic squad. But it's more than that. It's the fact that we have a fantastic squad and we set up to play the way that we did. Are you telling me that when we have Sutton, that when we have Lawrence, that when we have all these players coming back into the squad, when we have Amos coming back in, are you telling me that this is the way that we're going to set up throughout the entire season?
The players isn't the issue.
If it is, that is an absolute joke, and you should sack David today. If I was Ross, I would be sitting David down in my office and saying, is this how we play? Is this how we intend to approach games? Is this how you expect to coach my fucking football club? And if he says that this game went to plan in terms of the way they set up, and this was his plan from the start, he is out the fucking door that moment.
29% possession, I think, cannot be accepted when we are playing at home against a side that we should be beating. And this was a great opportunity for us to try and flex our muscles that we can be a final side.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's like we're kind of giggling here. It's like, oh, well, you finished last the last few seasons, so what the fuck do you
No,
mean
but
finals?
our squad on paper.
Our squad, and this is the thing, there is
You,
such...
you know what it was, speaking of flexing muscles, you know that one episode of SpongeBob where he gets the inflatable muscles and then they get popped and it's like he's got small arms.
But
That's what it felt like.
But
The
we've
first
got
30 minutes was this, last fucking
just hold on.
70?
We've got a squad that, as we now know, has got great self-belief that they can actually have a good season.
For sure.
Which is
We saw
fantastic.
that last night.
Which is fantastic given that the last few seasons it has been dog shit and I've not recognised my club at all. We've all not recognised our
Yeah,
club.
we've been there, done that. Yeah.
And this is the thing. My question to the likes of Ross, the likes of Stan, the likes of Rado, or even Jason Bontempo, our vice chairman, can you be doing better with your head coach? I know it's an obvious question, but for them, it's can you be doing better? No doubt, we were one of the heaviest spenders in the off-season when it came to recruitment. We have brought in some really good players, given that we finished last season. For as much as the squad is bloated, Stan has improved the squad. It is much better. It should have won this game. Like, I know we say games aren't played on paper, but our lineup, as you said, it was pretty good. It should have at least
like position for position.
Yeah.
Our solution
Much-
can't just be
much
signing new
better.
players.
I will continue to give Stan shit for the fact that he said, and I quote, the squad will be 25, not 33. And with the signing of Riley Fox allegedly
it's
going
basically
through.
what he's done.
Well, he's done.
done.
The squad is now at 33. Aside from that, okay, to give him credit,
The squad has
built us.
improved.
He has built us not only I'd say a top 6, but a top 4 starting 11, in my opinion.
Now that we've said that, this is the thing. Again, we touched on it on our last podcast. You have got 2 championship winning coaches that are currently available.
Yes.
Sydney FC looked shit on Friday night against Adelaide.
The longer we leave it,
And there is no doubt that they would have, after the money that they put in their squad, they would have gone, shit, we backed Uffy, we've given him a 1-year extension. We've got John Aloisi that's sitting there.
Yep.
Maybe we might go for him. We feel that this squad should be up there for the title.
and I feel like this is the difference between us and one of those
Exactly.
bigger clubs.
Is that they're willing to bite the bullet and say, no, that's not fucking good enough.
If
That is not
they
fucking
do
good
that,
enough.
but no doubt, I've got no doubt that they would have been incredibly concerned by that performance. And if I was Ross Pliggett or even Stan, or if I was Jason, people that played a big role in backing David and giving him another go and literally giving him free reign in terms of staff, in terms of players coming in, it's like, well, what more do you need?
Exactly. If I were any of those 3, I would be looking at the fact that in the Australian manager market, you have Nick Montgomery, you have Patrick Kisnorbo.
Now you have Monty,
After Ange got sacked. You have Nick Montgomery, you have Patrick Kisnorbo, you have John Aloisi, you have John Brady.
You got plenty
I
of-
would be looking at that and saying, what the fuck are we waiting for? What are we waiting for here?
This is the thing.
It's like I was gonna. Okay, I'm gonna say it as well. It's like waiting. It's like seeing a tumor appearing on. It's like waking up and seeing a tumor appearing on
Right.
you, and then waiting for your entire arm to get taken over by the tumor before you decide to cut it off.
Yes.
It's like, no, it's a fucking tumor. Get it out immediately.
I know, but-
Why are we waiting?
I know. But this is the big thing as well. It's like, again, you've got the international break, and I think I don't think they will do it, but I think if there's even a sniff, and we're kind of seeing it now, if there's even a sniff that we're not really sure, then you should be looking to do your due diligence and make sure that things are in order just in case shit does hit the fan. Because there were aspects of the performance that were good, but it's like thinking of, he's been given another go. This was Driller's opportunity against a shit Wellington side that had to make some last-minute changes, apparently, according to Italiano in his press conference. They didn't have players that were fully fit or whatever, or they just come back from international duty. You're at home.
Yep.
Yes, you're missing a few players, granted, but fans would have been expecting a compelling performance. We showed a good start. We had a good start. Yes, Wellington were just so incredibly naive with their high line.
Yeah.
But the fact that we didn't go for the kill and we weren't compelling, and in the second half as well, we couldn't change the game. David couldn't show tactically that he can make those changes.
got attacked.
I brought it up
He
to
got
you.
outcoached.
I actually brought it up to you. I don't know if you remember. I pointed it out.
Yeah.
So we looked at Dave on the sideline. He was in his little box with his hands in his pockets like last season, you know. Come on, guys, pass it around. And then you look at Italiano, and he's like, he's out of his box, and he's like yelling at the players.
But
like
He's dripped out to hell. He's got that shit on, and he's losing his mind.
But just that doesn't just because a coach moves up and down and barks instructions doesn't correlate to them being a good coach.
But
We
it's
saw that-
body
hold
language,
on,
though.
we saw
It's
that-
body language,
Just
James.
wait. We saw that with Zadkovic when he was our coach.
Yes.
Zadkovic would always be moving up and down, but he's not busy.
Exactly.
But we did better under
no,
Zadkovic.
but
I know-
listen,
I know
listen,
we-
the
I know
thing
we
is,
did.
I can at least say under Zadkovic that he would have the ability to at least be able to just forego his planning and just try different shit.
Plan A was
See if
shit,
it
but he
worked.
would always have
Yes,
plan B
exactly.
or C. Yeah.
With Dave, and that's the thing, I can forgive Zadkovic for being a bit of a hothead because he would always have something new to try. If something
Like,
wasn't
remember his
working-
subs, like Douse, Taggart, bring
if
on
something
Douse.
wasn't working, he'd be like, let's go different. Come on, pick it up, keep it going. Increase
But, like,
the intensity, increase the pressure. With David, all right, we've seen that he has plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, plan B is try plan A again.
Okay, but also
all
to
right?
be fair
And he
to
stands
Dave,
there with his hands in his pockets waiting for the
be-
game to end.
to be fair to Dave, clearly there has been some change in tactics as we've moved from the 4-4-2.
He's the manager.
But to be fair, we still build out in a 4-4-2.
So, no, I agree. And this is what I was going to say about
Yeah.
the management, this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
This is, as I have done so many times, this is a message to Mr. Stanley.
yes.
I don't know this for a fact. Obviously, I've never met the man. I have a parasocial relationship with Stanley
Sure.
because he talks so much.
Yep.
And it feels like you kind of get I guess, an idea of who he is and what he wants to bring to the club.
Yep.
Never doubted the man's passion. Never doubted the guy wants to win things, whether it's because of his own ego or because he actually cares about Perth. I still don't really know.
You
probably
hope it's
a bit
because
of
he
both.
cares about the club.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both.
Yep.
The question I have for you, Stan, is simply this. If you want to be liked, that's totally fine. But the question is that do you want to be liked by the fans or do you want to keep your mates within the club?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Who would you have to pick because you can't have both because the mates that you're trying to keep within the jobs are not doing a good enough job. And the fans aren't happy.
Yeah.
If you really, really care about the club, you will do what is right for the club, not what's right for your friends.
Well, let's just put it this way: a big consensus among the fans at full time was we've got a decent squad.
Yep.
But holy shit, we are not convinced by the gaffer.
No.
Not convinced.
No.
And it's like and it's extraordinary levels of backing that a coach with the record that David Drillich has.
Yep.
To have been received that level of institutional support, be it staff, be it players, be it now that we're training at Mirrabooka.
Yeah.
He's got everything he needs. And this is the thing.
I mean, look at the victory season when they brought in Nani. Like, I know they had the people invade the pitch, whatever, but
Yeah.
you can bring in all the best players, but
we've got good players, and we know now that given we've seen different iterations of the squad under Driller, we now know that it's not a squad problem because we've seen a complete spectrum of the squad. Like, this is the thing as well. Do you know how much XG we generated?
Last night.
I'm pretty sure I checked it. We generated under 1, wasn't it?
0.84.
Yeah.
So we had about 8 or 9 shots. I think it was 8 or 9 shots or something. 9 shots.
9 shots.
And 11,
11
to
for
Wellington.
Phoenix.
So stats don't tell the complete picture because there's obviously context because some sites said that we created 4 big chances. I disagree.
Bob said that,
Yeah, but
that
that's
doesn't guarantee.
well, no, it's and this is the thing. I still maintain that as an attacking unit, something that we've said all pre-season, be it when we play the 4-4-2 against Wellington or Milan, or when we changed our shape. The shape at the end of the day is cosmetic because you've still got behaviour, you've still got habits, you've still got structure. And you see how Wellington are whenever they get the ball, they don't panic.
Yeah.
It's like boom, 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 and it's really good to watch. And it was
Yeah.
really impressive. Like again, for Armiento's goal, I'll put up the tactical cam view of it because if you see the combinations and the movement, I'm like, why can't we do that? It's not like we don't have good players. We do have good players.
better
We have
players.
objectively a very, very good squad.
And it was very well worked, but at the same time, all they really did, and this is not to take anything away from the goal, all they really did were use the basics of what every footballer that's a professional should be able to
Pass
do.
move.
Pass move, pass move. One of the first things you learn as a footballer. They just used the basics and it tore us apart.
Yeah.
Like,
They had a really good understanding of tempo.
Yes.
What also concerned me is that the numerous times in the first half when Wellington would get the ball towards the edge of their box and be able to genuinely play those bounce passes inside our own area as a Nagasawa, all these guys just bouncing, all these passes around. And we're just there looking like clueless as to how we're supposed to adapt our shape to this.
are they doing
and it's just
this?
like, yeah, exactly. A pass in football.
Why aren't they lobbling it long?
Yeah.
We also had a couple more fan comments just in now.
Oh, okay.
So Stompy, he said, we aren't going to get anywhere playing like that. No tactics outside of long balls over the top, which just won't work. Every throw-in, we lost the ball in 3 touches because there was no movement and all the players were looking at each other, waiting for someone to do something. And then Daniel Del Barello, he said, there was real excitement in the stands during the first 30 minutes of sharp link-up play up front, a strong high press and the ability to keep the game at a high tempo for a while. But after that, it felt like seasons past where there just didn't seem to be a plan B. And that's the thing. All those points from those 2 guys, we've been saying it. And no doubt plenty of fans that were watching the game either there or at home were like, it's better, but it's like a lot of it felt like it's better because we have better players, not because the way that Driller has ultimately been setting the boys up, that we look like we're going to be a finals team. And if I'm Ross and I've gone, yep, we're going to give you a lot of money to spend on the team, and that's what you dish out.
Yeah,
because it's not on the players. Because the players, I would have a go at the players if there was an effort, but there was absolutely effort.
Yeah,
and there was a willingness to win. They tried to win. But sometimes, for me at least, it's bigger than the players. And I think, again, I'll go back to my initial point, be it Ross, be it Jason, Stan, Rado, can you be doing better?
Yeah.
Like, well, back to what I said earlier, like, I know it's a different scenario, but regardless, you can bring in the best, the best players, but it's not, you can't just hack the A-League with good, you can't just keep signing players.
Exactly.
No.
You can't just keep building super squads and expect them to be able to go out there and do shit, because it's not how it works. Otherwise, Sydney would have walked all over Adelaide yesterday.
Or
but
Sydney
they
would have
didn't
made the
because-
finals last season.
Yeah. But they didn't because they played like shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
I did have a thing I wanted to bring to the panel.
sure.
I know it's near the end of the episode. But
Yep.
This is the right. I was waiting for the right time to bring it
Yep.
up. I wanted to ask each of you guys, in a round,
As a panel, yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
In terms of the squad we have, and in terms of the management system we currently have, I was going to go through the last managers from Ian Ferguson onwards and get a yes or no if they would perform better with this squad than what we have with Dave.
Go on.
So I'll start with Ian Ferguson. We'll go around with Alex, James, Josh. Alex, Ian
Yes.
Ferguson or Dave?
yes, Ian.
Ian.
Kenny Lowe or Dave?
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
Yeah.
Alistair Edwards or Dave?
Ali.
Ali,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Tony Popovich. Or
Obviously.
Oh, Popper.
Richard Garcia.
Honestly,
Richard.
I'd say Richie.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially.
I feel like this
There
is
was more that was there under Richie than under Driller.
Yeah.
Name me a worse manager.
No, because the thing is, at least under Richie, he wasn't great, but at least
Yeah.
the team could attack.
Yeah.
And win games.
And we win games.
already
when
said-
they had a good squad as well.
Yeah.
We already said Zad's. We're happy with
Zad's probably.
I would
probably.
in a fucking
Probably,
heartbeat.
yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously we've got Stadge.
Stadge, 100%.
100%.
Probably would,
Come
yeah.
on.
Okay.
But this, and again, it comes down to the point, like, we now have a squad because over the years we've gone, geez, our squad's pretty shit. But now it's like, well, when everyone's fit and everyone's ready to go, and you look at the starting 11, there's so many that you could do, and people would go, yeah, on paper, sweet, that's finals. So, again, I know there's the typical cop-out amount among fans where it's like, oh, sack the coach, sack this.
Yeah,
it's always the coach's fault. And
Yeah.
not often is that the correct answer because it lacks a lot of nuance. But now it's like, well, no, this is a problem with the coach. So,
James, I asked you yesterday if he takes Stadge back, and you're like, no, he lost. He drew 1-1.
Stadge. Well,
The thing is, right, if you said to me now, would you take Stadge now? I would say no, because there's
No,
better options.
the-
Yeah.
But
and that was-
if you're saying, if you woke up tomorrow and Stadge right now
Yeah.
was the coach of the Glory
My-
instead of David Driller,
my-
I'd say yes.
No, my-
but I wouldn't want to go back in for
My
it.
argument at that point was, I think we're now at a point now, as I was saying to you at the time, we are now in a phase where it's win now. You've got so many players now that are in their late 20s, early 30s. That if you are not primed to make either win now or jump up the table into the finals, then it's fucking pointless. So
thing is as
we're,
well-
we're coded to try and make a finals push this season
100%.
based on our recruitment.
And the confidence is there among the players.
Absolutely.
The vibes are fucking immaculate from
But
what
literally
we hear.
every single podcast that I've listened to, article that I've read, the common denominator that they've all said is, we think Glory have improved, but we are so not confident in this coach.
In Dave.
And I know it's a bit of a pile-on on Driller, but it's like, he's been given an opportunity when realistically we should have shook his hand at the end of the season and gone, look, sorry, we've got to
our bad. Like we thought you were better.
yeah. So speaking of next week we've got
We weren't familiar with your game.
we've got Melbourne City away
Oh, no.
next week. We may have Tom Lawrence for that game. We may have Luke Amos, Cal Timmins, Charbel Shamoon, maybe a couple others.
Shamoon? I thought he wasn't back till last.
No, we heard from
we spoke-
Shamoon
we
last
literally
night
spoke to him
that
last night, yeah.
he's back next week.
So-
Whether or not he makes the squad, given
Which-
that he's played no preseason,
We will see.
we'll see.
Apparently, if you're healthy, it doesn't mean you make the squad even if
But-
you're really good.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of City, they drew 1-1 with Western Sydney yesterday.
Yeah.
This City team, can I just preface as well
Sure.
for the people at home?
Yep.
This
Yes,
this is not a good Melbourne City side.
No.
Their defensively, and in terms of their double pivot, I think they're good. They're fine. Not the best I've ever seen, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're solid. Their front line
It's not very good.
is bad.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, they
bad.
lost their striker, didn't they?
Caputo's good. Caputo's strong, but
Kanamori wasn't very
Kanamori
good.
wasn't good.
Kuen was okay.
Kuen was okay, but Rashari did not convince me.
But this is the thing. I think, again, if we believe that this can be a finals team, and if David Drilic believes he is a finals manager, well, why shouldn't we look to say, well, go over to Amy Park and go and get a win? Or go
I genuinely believe
is
our
it-
squad
is it-
matches up to theirs. If not,
Better.
yeah, if not.
More experience.
So City. So what I think will happen in the game. So City had 63% of the ball
Oh, no.
yesterday against Western Sydney. So it's probably going to be a similar story.
But that is against a Stadge team.
That is against the Stadge team. The question for us will be whether we can try and equalise that a little bit more and not give City too much of the ball. And then when we do have the ball, that'll be the interesting thing because, again, in possession, I think we have good technical players, but I don't think we've worked on many patterns so that if we are in settled possession, we can sort of do what Wellington did and go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Because I think City, look, if they smell blood, they'll go for us. And I think
Sure.
they're in a much better state in terms of they've had Champions League elite games, so they're fresh.
Yeah.
This will be a tough game.
For sure.
Do we have any predictions at this point in time?
I've got predictions. I
Will,
don't know if I want to give it.
Will, let's go. What are your thoughts?
Look.
Alex, now look.
I don't know. Like, we always seem to have a weirdly, like maybe once a season, play really well at Amy Park. Like, it's just kind of a weird thing that we do. I don't know if, like, maybe not last season, but in history, like,
We've been able to do okay at times.
yeah, like
Yep.
I always think back to that that final we had against Melbourne City, that knockout final.
Yep,
We somehow
yep,
managed to pull
Kinesi
that
and
out the
Castro,
bag.
yep.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago now. Jeez.
2017.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll probably put together a somewhat like competent performance for our standards, not in terms of like football standards, glory standards. But I do think when push comes to shove, if it's anything like we witnessed last night with stubbornness, no tactical changes, the defending being as,
No fluency in attack.
it's probably going to be a loss. How much? I'm not too sure, but I would wager we'll score a goal.
I think we will, yeah.
But I would say 2 or 3-1 to City.
I personally don't think we will score a goal. I will say either 2 or 3-0. And I will just say quickly, before I forget to mention this, if I can feel sympathy for one person at the club right now, it is Adam Griffiths. And I will say,
Heard some very good feedback.
Exactly. Very good feedback. Everyone that we've talked to has said he's a fantastic coach.
Very,
He's done
very good
really
coach.
well. He is the mastermind behind our current 3-back formation, which is working really well. And, in my opinion, has coached a relatively strong defensive structure. And we've heard from the players, he is very good with the young defenders in building up their confidence and their knowledge in the
and
game.
takes the time to explain to them like
Exactly.
what they need to do to improve on their game or what
Exactly.
areas they need to
So
do well in.
watch Adam Griffiths, who's done so well with building up the defensive, I'd even say culture of our defenders. To see that and then to watch your manager, like your head honcho, then cook up absolutely nothing of note in terms of attack. No inspiration, the pressing awful, just
Very inconsistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to watch your boss essentially cook up that is absolutely horrible. It is absolutely abysmal. And I honestly have to feel sympathy for Griffo because I think he's done fantastic in terms of defensive structure, in terms of how we set up against Wellington. We defended really well, apart from a few little moments here that can just be put down to lapses in concentration.
Yep.
But then you have to watch the man in charge of pressing and attacking coaching and set-piece coaching just give us nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So, in terms of a prediction, you think it's going to be 2 or 3-0?
I think it's 2 or 3-0 loss.
I'd love to be proven wrong and we can get a win. But I think City, technically, I think they'll be a bit too much for us.
Yeah.
Pending who we can bring into the team,
Yep.
and if we can make some adjustments tactically in terms of how we build up, how we look to attack, and our shape.
Yeah.
If we
But
can,
we all know that's not going to happen, James.
no shit. But I'm like, if we can see that, then perhaps we'd have a better chance of getting a result. But I think I'm probably going to say 1-0 City.
1-0.
1-0.
I mean, based off last night, I think we honestly got away lucky with Wellington's high line because besides like those 2 goals, we didn't really actually like create our own chances, and that's against Wellington. They dominate us possession wise, and that's Wellington.
Yeah.
And now we're playing City. If we didn't, mate, if Caltech gets injured, we're cooked. Like,
We're actually
Yeah, no.
that could have easily been. We could have easily lost 4-0, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think City they'll beat us 3-0.
3-0.
Look,
you sure?
the thing is as well, if I have to say, if I had to have a message for the players, I would say just remember what you're playing for. Just remember how much this means to the people
And
of
we
WA.
saw yesterday.
Absolutely,
That
they definitely do care. But just remember that when you walk out onto the field, how much this actually means to the people here in Perth. When you not only when you play in front of us here at HBF, but when you go away and you represent us in the Eastern States.
Yeah.
And if I have anything to say to the board, I would say, what do you want out of this? How much more do you think? You had a crowd of nearly 8,000 last night for the season
pretty
opener,
good.
which is really, really good, especially for A-League
Surprised by
standards.
that, yeah.
How much? And all those fans were there because you promised them a fresh start, new players,
No
new
excuses,
ideas,
importantly.
no excuses, and you served up that
And
second
then the
half
manager goes in
performance.
the interview and says,
Yep.
"We're happy with the
And when
point."
it said, and I'll touch on that just after this, but I will just say to the board, how much more do you expect us fans to be able to take before we simply just turn around and said, I've had enough. I've absolutely had enough of this shit.
I mean, we won't.
And
but
no, we won't because we do a podcast. But I know a lot of casual fans that
Yeah.
will.
I mean, I didn't buy membership this season because of that.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you that much money.
Absolutely. And the thing is as well, I will say, I think we're all pissed off by the comment that Dave made after the game. Not only because of how frustrating that game was, but because of how contradictory his statement was. He said that we really should have gotten the win,
Yeah.
but he is happy to take the point.
Can't be happy.
That contradicts. Those contradict
No,
each other.
you just-
You
can't
can't
be
be.
happy, that's
You
it.
can't say you really deserve to win the game and then say I'm happy with a point. If you really deserve to win the game, you should be pissed that you did not get those 2 extra
it's
points.
the wrong
You should
response.
be pissed that you could not get the job done, that you could not get your
Well, let's
team
put it- let's-
over the
let's-
line.
let's put-
If you're happy with the point,
Yeah.
that's in a game that you
But-
don't deserve
and
to be
James,
winning.
I did predict the score. Remember?
Hey, Josh did say 2-2.
He did say 2-2.
But the bigger thing as well, we deserved to win the game for about 25 minutes.
Yes.
After that, Wellington deserved to win.
For sure.
So it's like, you can say that, but it's like, again, we under David Drillich, we have yet to put in a convincing, compelling 90-minute performance.
But this is what I'm
that's a
saying
big
though.
thing.
I'm saying that David is so
Stubborn.
not only stubborn, but he is devoid of any sort of sense, and he is so removed from all of us Perth Glory fans that he genuinely doesn't understand how his words sound so stupid to us. When you say we really deserved to win the game, while you simultaneously put up 29% possession at home against one of the worst 2 teams in the league on paper, in the home distance derby in front of 8,000 fans, and that's how you set your brand new built team up against them. That is how you set them up. And then you have the audacity to say, I am happy with the point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
No,
audacity.
you should have not. We are not happy with that point. No one at this fucking club should be happy with that point. You should be pissed. And we heard it from the players in the members lounge that no one is happy with just a point after that game. None of the players that we spoke to, and we spoke to a lot. James and I probably spoke to about 8 to 10 players.
We spoke to a
staff,
few at least.
all of that. No one is happy with the point. Yet our manager, who I can single-handedly put the blame on for that performance, especially that second half and the last 15 of the first half, said, I am happy with that. How the hell are you happy with that when your job is on the line, when the future of this club's support is on the line?
No, I wouldn't
and you
go
put,
that far.
No, I would go that far. I would go that far.
okay.
Because,
That's a
stop.
bit
You
extreme.
need to let me land here. Because listen, I guarantee you, out of those 8,000 fans that turned up and watched that second half, how many of those do you think are casual fans? I would say a good 2,000 to 3,000, right?
Probably.
How many of those do you think are turning back up for the next games?
Well, it's a good question, but I just think it's not. I don't think it's that extreme.
No, I do think it is that extreme. And this is because this is why you cannot continue to go down this path.
It would have been worse if we lost.
It would be, but here's the thing. Perth fans, and I've said this before on the podcast, Perth, not just sport fans in general, are extremely fickle. All right? If their team does not win, if their team does not perform, they will not show up. It happened with
What do you mean? We had people that came to our games last season.
Listen, it happened with the Scorchers when they were shit.
Yeah,
They went
sure.
from biggest attendances in the BBL to dropping off extremely. West Coast, the same thing. Fremantle, the same thing. The WA cricket team, the same thing. The Wildcats went from selling out every single home game for about 5 years to dropping off half their attendance. Perth Glory fans are the only fans that I know of in Perth that will support their team through thick and thin. But how much longer are you going to continuously feed us this same old bullshit of, oh, don't worry, we'll be better next time. Oh, don't worry, we've got faith in David Zrillich. Oh, don't worry, we've got faith that you'll be back here next week to give us your money after we hiked the ticket prices in the off season, just so you can watch us park the bus at home against Wellington Phoenix, who are one of the worst teams in the league, and throw away a 2-goal lead to drop 2 points and then have our manager come out and say, no, I am happy with that point. But we should have won, guys, but I'm happy that we at least got a point from this. That is a fucking disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And if he is not out the door tomorrow morning, or if he's not giving me, if he's not
calm
giving
down.
Let him
if
land.
he's not giving me, if he's not giving me at least 4 points against the Victory and City combined, and a comprehensive win against the against the Mariners, I don't want to see this man in this state ever again. I don't want to see him at my club ever again, because I've simply had a fuck enough of this. I've simply had enough. You can land if you want now, James, because I've said my piece. Like I'm done with this fucking manager. I'm done with this bullshit.
I just want to ask, with not you, Alex. You've had your time. Sorry.
Yeah.
You two.
Shit, careful.
As we wrap
careful, mate.
As we wrap things up here, James, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Overall, with what you just heard,
Yes.
how much of it? You don't need to explain why. Just give me a percentage of it. Do you agree with, James?
Well, I don't need to give you a percentage. I agree with it.
Right. Okay. Well, because I saw you two kind of be like, all right, but
No,
he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong in that, we've been a perennial underperformer. We turn 30 as a club on December 1, and we have our 30th anniversary next season.
Yep.
And there's not a growing sense of support among the fan base for David. And it's at a point now where Stan has done his job, as we've said quite a few times.
Yeah.
This podcast and the previous one.
Well done.
He has done his job in the sense of improving the squad.
Correct.
And even though it's one game, even though it's round one, it's like it's not panic stations, but it's like
the only thing
we wanted something a little bit
like we
more.
all
I
saw this
agree.
coming and
I
it
agree
happened.
with what Alex said. But the
Yeah.
only thing wrong with it, and this is my opinion, is he was like, "Oh, we need to give. He needs to get 4 points, whatever, out of these games." Mate, we've been saying this. We keep extending it. We were saying that since Newcastle when we lost 4-1 last season.
I wanted him
He's
out
not wrong, though.
I wanted him out the door last night. Forget
I've
about
seen
those
enough.
next
I don't need to
No,
see.
exactly. I'm with you. But I am saying, if you need
Okay, here we
any
go.
justification to keep him around, you need to be getting maximum points. And even then, it's not enough for me.
No. As I was saying, Josh is right. Is that I don't need to see at least 4 points. I need to see him gone. I don't care if we were. I'm being so serious. Like, look, and I feel awful, right? As just a human.
This is
being.
someone's job.
It
This
is
is
someone's
not
job.
something I
Yeah.
feel
I
great.
feel I don't like it that this podcast nearly every time.
It is a blasting of David.
I
to be
feel
fair.
awful that it is because he is a human being.
Yeah.
He is just a man who's trying to do a job that he's been given, right? And I feel awful that we're saying this, but at the end of the day, this is the business, right? This is
club
the job.
It's a results-based industry, and this
Correct.
club has to get back to
And
winning
this is
ways.
what we do
Yeah.
as a podcast. We're not here to pretend that everything's fine. We're not here being paid by the club to make everyone feel like, oh, don't worry, guys, it's coming. We're here to be honest.
Yeah.
If you do want to pay us, by the
Okay.
way, Ross.
They're not
And
players.
and Ross obviously he put out a little statement saying he's very passionate about the club, and it brings what was it like? He gets hot in his suit or something.
Oh yeah,
Sweaty
every
or
time we're
sweaty in
winning
his
by,
suit.
by 2 or more
Anyway,
goals, I'm
if you
still
actually
sweating
cared, you
in
could
my
bring in like a
thousands of
big
dollars
statement
worth.
coach like Aloisi, PK, John Brady, whoever's available, and show us that you care.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think because that's the thing. I think we're now at a point where you've got self-belief within the players.
Yeah.
You've got a a team that itself can probably go into the finals because, there's, again, early signs a lot of teams have not looked very good.
Yep.
So
I just think we are one move away from being competent.
same. I
Because
think
we've done so well
we
with
are,
everything
we
else.
Are, we are quite literally one coach away, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure that I'm not. Even
And
though
physio.
I'm not quite as I'm not quite on the same extreme as Alex, but I do feel though. What are we going to see that'll be completely life changing over the
We'll be
next
there after the
3
season,
weeks?
bro, don't worry.
No,
And I'll be here to accept you when I
no, but I'm already clear that there should be a new manager,
For sure.
and I think there should be a change, and I think this club should be ruthless, and I don't know why there should be another chance given to him. I don't think there's an appetite among the fan base. I'm not sure every player is completely on board with the coaches. I mean,
Yep.
definitely with Griffo, yep, he's done some good work, but I think from the old regime from last year, I think, again, and I'll come back to that point, we can be doing better. Time will tell if we make a change.
Yep.
So are there any final points that we want to say before we wrap
I
it up?
think we covered it all.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
that was a pretty good episode. Like, I
Bro,
think we
Alex
really
is
covered a lot.
knackered after that.
Alex is tired.
I've had enough.
Honestly.
All right. Well,
I didn't eat this morning for the sole purpose of I wanted to be as annoyed and primal
Frazzled.
as I can. And I hope
Jesus.
that you people at home enjoyed my suffering for that brief moment in time.
Alrighty.
Anyway, yeah, bring on Melbourne City.
bring on Melbourne City. Try and get a win.
And yeah, and then
Right.
our next-
Try,
our
get
next-
a
our
win.
next-
Let's make a statement. Let's show everyone what we can do.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Please
give our new coach 3 points as a welcome present.
Oh, wow. They are not welcoming that club. Are not welcoming you back.
I mean, sometimes at this point, maybe you just get tags to do the tactics. Like,
Honestly.
Or Scott. To be fair, he's the chief scout.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
chief leader. Woots, get in there, mate.
all right.
All right. but
Anyways.
episode
Ladies
38.
and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining
Hopefully
us.
the camera looked fairly good.
Yeah, hopefully,
You
hopefully.
caught Alex's rant in 4K.
Well,
And it's gone to shit.
well, thank
The
you
Spotify
regardless
should sound
for
good.
thank you regardless for joining us for episode 38 of the Glory Days podcast. We will be back next week after the Melbourne City game. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to
Share.
follow us on Twitter,
TikTok.
and TikTok
Close
now
to
as
200
well.
followers,
and
almost
make sure
1,000
you
likes.
keep your eyes on the accounts for when we do our fan comments for next week if you want to get involved. But until next time, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
and
guys.
catch us
Thank
later.
you.